This isn't a series of videos about collecting, it's a series of videos about downsizing a collection, stripping it back to the stuff that means something to me. So yeah, this is the end. Hi everyone, welcome to Retro Dregs, the bottom of the gaming barrel. And today I wanted to talk about this hobby, habit, addiction that I seem to have, a little bit like a therapy meeting this. And the question I have is, when does all of this become too much? It's a rhetorical question, I do know the answer to that, and it is when you just have piles of this stuff everywhere. I have boxes, double stacked shelves, and hundreds of games that I will never play. So in order to really understand how I've gone so far off this collecting path, I just think I need to look back at my own collecting journey. So going way back to when I was a kid, I had a Nintendo, and during that period I had a couple of games. The village I grew up in, there was a load of other kids that had NESs, and we just used to lend each other games. And then once the newer systems came out, like the Mega Drive or the SNES, this stuff just got boxed up and put in the loft. So I had a few systems during my school years, which I shared with my brother and sister. And then it wasn't until I finished university and eventually got into my profession and had a good income with some disposable cash that the collecting really started. That's when I started looking at picking up old games and systems that I had missed at the time. And I used to shop around. I used to, this was back in 2006, 7. I'd be out at charity shops, Cash Generator, lots of shops like that. And that's where I picked up a lot of the systems and games that I have now. I remember getting a Dreamcast for a tenner, which is ridiculous. And then Game Station was at that time just selling off all like the 16-bit stuff and the 32-bit stuff. And that's where I picked up my Saturn for like 30 quid with a couple of games. So it was that sort of period was really good for collecting. And it was during that period where I was picking up stuff quite cheaply and affordable. That's when I set a limit to my spending, which is something I have stuck to ever since, and that is spending no more than £50 on a single game. Now that has in the past served me really well. I've been able to find some amazing stuff for that price or under, but at the same time it's also cost me a couple of things for my collection where I've had to walk away because I'm so stubborn and I won't go over it, not even by a couple of quid. So there's quite a few things that regretfully I've walked away from, but that is the limit I set myself, and throughout the years I've been quite pleased that I've stuck to that. Having that limit has made it a bit more exciting to go out and find things in the wild. You'll see a game that's way more than maybe your budget allows, but it's great to see it. And then there have been other times where I found it way below. So it works and it doesn't work, but it's always the thing I've stuck to. But then it wasn't until I bought a house and had this space, that's when the tipping point happened, I think. Because I had this space, that's when picking up one or two things in a charity shop turned into, whoa, here's a box of PS1 games, let's just buy them all, spend 20 quid on 20 games. And it was really much, rather than looking for games that I'm going to play or were actively missed back when it was originally released, I lost sight of that and it turned into, this will look great on the shelf. And that's 100% where I am now. Loads of this stuff does look good on the shelf, but the shelves are buckling. It's more than I'll ever play, it's more than I'll ever need. So I'm making this video as really the start of cutting back, slimming down the collection to the games that matter. And the core easy bit of this will be getting the games that I had at the time. So for things like the NES or the Mega Drive or the SNES, that's relatively easy. I remember the games I got for Christmases and birthdays. That's easy enough to do. I think where it will get trickier is when I move into the PlayStation 2 era. There'll be the games that I bought at the time and played through, which I have kept due to the sort of hoarder side of me, and there'll be games within that the collector side of me will be like, well, yeah, that is something that means something. But there's also a whole bucket load of games that I've played through and enjoyed. Either way, I'm rambling a little bit here and looking around at the task ahead. It's going to be exciting, it's going to be good, it's going to be fun. So whilst I don't think I'll ever stop collecting, I think I'm just limiting my pickups now again to the real important stuff that I actually want. Because who has the space? I know a lot of people do have space. A lot of people have amazing spaces to display stuff, but even having watched some of their videos, I know that they struggle and have to move things on sometimes. So yeah, that's where I am. I'll be back with another video soon, so subscribe, ring the bell if you like, and get a notification when the next video drops. Thanks for watching, take it easy, bye!